Hiya! Welcome back to my channel again for another weekly video. Today I'm going to be making some hot cross buns and I'm going to do a bit of my own twist on this. So I'm making healthier hot cross buns which are made with all good kind of ingredients. These are also completely vegan, they're dairy free and egg free. They're also gluten free because they're made using buckwheat flour instead. And they're little mini hot cross buns that look like this, which I just think they look so cute. And there's Easter approaching this coming weekend, and also that means that this Friday coming is Good Friday, and if you do celebrate it, then that also does mean, of course, hot cross buns are eaten. So I thought it was the perfect time, with a couple of days to go, to show you a recipe how you can make some slightly healthier ones. And also these can be enjoyed by literally everyone, as they are gluten and dairy free and everything like that. Literally everyone can eat them. And my recipe does make 6 mini ones, but of course you can feel free to double the ingredients if you want to make 12, or if you want to make 6 more sort of regular sized hot cross buns. Honestly, these smell incredible though. Definitely worth baking just for the smell they create, it's amazing. So in terms of the hot cross buns themselves, you will need 90 grams of buckwheat flour, 75 grams of ground almonds, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ground ginger, a quarter of a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 65 grams of sultanas, 25 grams of coconut oil, 30 ml of almond milk, or you could use any other plant-based milk, whichever you prefer, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, and then 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed.
So you want to start by preheating your oven to 180 degrees. Then add your 90 grams of buckwheat flour to a large mixing bowl, followed by adding your 75 grams of ground almonds. Then add your 1 teaspoon of baking powder, followed by your teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ground ginger, and a quarter teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Then finally add in your 65 grams of sultanas. Then give everything a good mix to evenly combine it and set aside. Next you want to make your flax eggs. So you want to add 1 tablespoon of ground flax to a bowl, followed by 3 tablespoons of water, and give it a mix and set it aside for a few minutes to thicken. Then in a small saucepan, heat your coconut oil and mix it well until it's melted. Once it's melted, add your 30 ml of almond milk and give it a stir to combine, and then finally add your tablespoon of maple syrup, giving it a final stir to fully combine. Then now add the flax egg and also the coconut oil mixture from the saucepan to the dry ingredients in the mixing bowl, and give this a stir to combine and form a dough. You may want to add some extra water at this point if your dough is too dry and you want to try and achieve a texture like this. Then set your dough aside for around 5 to 10 minutes.
So while the dough is set aside for about 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to get on to making the mixture ready for the crosses to put on the hot cross buns, because of course you can't have hot cross buns without a cross on top of it. And all you'll need for this is 1 tablespoon of buckwheat flour, half a tablespoon of ground almonds, and then you'll need around 2 or 3 tablespoons of water.
Start by adding your tablespoon of buckwheat flour, followed by your half a tablespoon of ground almonds to a small bowl, and give these a stir to combine. Then add your water 1 tablespoon at a time, mixing after each addition, and keep adding water until it gets to a consistency which is just thick enough to pipe. You then want to add this mixture to a piping bag or bottle with a round-ended nozzle. Now your dough's been set aside for 5 to 10 minutes, you want to tip it out of the bowl onto a lightly floured surface and knead it with your hands into a ball shape. Then roughly cut the dough with a knife into 6 more or less equal pieces, and roll each of these individually with your hands into an individual ball. You then want to place each of these onto a baking tray lined with parchment paper, and then gently press down on each one with your hand to slightly flatten them. Then finally, pipe on your cross mixture to form a cross on top of each one. Finally, pop these in the oven to bake for around 15 to 20 minutes.
So while the hot cross buns are baking away in the oven, I'm going to make the maple glaze to top them with once they're baked. And all you'll need for this, it's so simple, is 1 tablespoon of pure maple syrup and then also 2 tablespoons of water, or you could also alternatively use almond milk.
Start by adding your 2 tablespoons of water to a bowl, followed by your 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, and give a stir to combine. Then once your hot cross buns have finished baking and out the oven, use a pastry brush to brush on the maple syrup glaze onto the top of each hot cross bun. And there you go, that's your finished hot cross buns.
So that was how you can make some mini healthier hot cross buns. I hope you enjoyed this video, and what's more, I hope you enjoy making them if you give them a go. Please do let me know by tweeting me your pictures or tagging me on Instagram. All my socials are linked down below so you can easily find them. I'd love to know if you make them and how they turn out for you, and I hope you enjoy them. That's the most important thing. Also, please be sure to click the little red subscribe button down below if you're new to my channel, as well as smashing that big thumbs up if you did enjoy this video, if you give this recipe a go. Don't forget there's also the little notifications bell that you can click on down below too, next to the subscribe button, so that you're notified whenever I upload. And I'll be sure to see you on Sunday with a brand new video. Bye!